Okay, I want to welcome everybody to the charity information session for Chamber for Good. We're excited to be launching this in your community, working closely with your Chamber of Commerce to make this possible. The goal of Chamber for Good is obviously to connect local donors to local charities serving local needs, but even more powerful than that is to create a true sense of community, which really only comes when residents are aware of local needs and everybody's kind of in it to help each other out. The problem is the way things are usually set up is it's actually very difficult for local causes and charities to engage with the local community on a giving basis. It's easier to go out and hit other donor networks and receive grants from other locations. And so this mechanism is going to allow the community to engage easier with their local charities and causes and allow those local charities and causes to become much better known throughout their community as well. So we're excited to be able to present this. This is part one. This is going to be a kind of an overview version of this, and we'll focus on a couple of the high points. And then part two, if your chamber ends up showing that at your training session, is actually going into the website itself and wandering through some of those things in a live discussion there. So we'll go ahead and get things going. First of all, it's probably a good idea to give some sort of a definition or an outline of what exactly it is the Chamber for Good does, which is to leverage the credibility, visibility, and relationships of your Chamber of Commerce to shine a bright light on local nonprofit charities and causes and provide them with increased visibility and new giving relationships. And that's really the key element there. Chamber for Good also engages the community in a way that no other organization can to build an increased community-wide sensitivity toward local charitable needs, then provides an easy way for residents to act on their good intentions through one of three engagement mechanisms: browse needs, make offers, and receive weekly needs email. And we'll go into each of those, but it's important to understand that this is really meant to be a community-wide tool. We really want to increase the community sensitivity toward local needs. It's so easy to go throughout an entire day in any given community without having the slightest clue of what great needs exist amongst the charitable organizations that are operating within our community. Also, for the most part, you have residents with incredibly good intentions and a desire to make a difference and make an impact, but it's very difficult for them to do that. How do they engage with the local charities and causes? It requires some work on their part, and so we really want to make that much easier for them. And so we'll talk about how that's done as we go on. Really, it all starts with the link, and this Give Local link is really the invitation to join and join the Give Local cause and to do something wonderful. This link will be in a number of different locations. First of all, on the Chamber's website, it'll be in a very prominent location if it isn't already. Also on participating charity websites. Now, those that are locally based are the only ones that are really required to make sure that they have this link on their website. Those that are regional in focus also. Those national charities, obviously it's much more problematic and difficult because of course they'll be operating in a number of different Chamber for Good regions, and soon their website will be full of 50, 60, 70 different Give Local links. So that's a different scenario there. But those of you that are based local, we encourage, we request, we plead, we beg you, please put the Give Local link on your website that links to the specific Chamber for Good. On the media partner websites as well, these are incredibly critical partners, and we'll talk about how they'll engage and play a key role in the success of the Give Local movement. And then on any other community-oriented websites as well. Municipalities are major partners that can really make an impact on the Give Local movement. So many municipalities focus on buy local, which is a wonderful, good, noble thing that brings some tax dollars to the location, keeps things local, helps with some keeping some jobs local and things like that. But every dollar spent on a Give Local cause is far more impactful in somebody's life. The great thing about the Give Local movement is there's no conflict. It's absolutely free to the charities as well. In fact, we'll move on to that part now. Important to understand right off the bat that none of the charities, none of the nonprofits or other that participate in Chamber for Good have to pay a penny. The only thing that's asked of them, again, is the posting of the link. Each charity or nonprofit will create its own profile. It takes about 5 or so minutes. We'll take a look at that page. Once approved by the chamber, you can post item and volunteer needs as they arise, and those will be made aware to the public in a number of different ways. You as the charity also determine what your donate dollar button links to. That can be to a PayPal account, a Google checkout, a merchant system, or just another website that gives them more information on where to send a check if you don't have an online payment mechanism. However you do it, you're the one that chooses where that button links to. So let's go through quickly a website overview, and then we'll get to these engagement tools that are highlighted in red. It's important to recognize, first of all, that this is very local in focus. So every Chamber for Good site, your Chamber for Good site, will list the communities in which you're operating or your city name, as well as your Chamber of Commerce logo there. It's important that when the residents come, they feel that this is local and recognize that this is run and managed by local people serving local needs. It's a very key element. Then you'll see the trailheads, as I call them down here. And these are the three ways that people will give of themselves. They'll donate money, they'll donate time through volunteer work, and they'll donate items to different charities in need. So I want to talk about the engagement tools, which are really important. The first is the ability to browse, so view financial needs, view volunteer needs, and view item needs. These needs are populated in the system from the charities themselves. This is charity-driven chamber with chamber oversight. And so the charities determine which needs are posted. They can post them and they will immediately show up real time in these categories as they post item needs and volunteer needs. And then of course financial needs, I think every charity could always use more dollars. And so this is the first way they can do it. We'll take a look at that in a second. The second is through offering volunteer time and offering items to charity as well. The ability to make offers is another great engagement tool. It's very powerful and will make things easier for your residents in your community to engage with charities and support those causes that are the greatest in their community. The bottom half of the home page, you'll see the featured charity, charity events, and the flash cause. The featured charity is determined by the Chamber of Commerce, and usually they'll use that to give a little extra visibility to members of the Chamber of Commerce because they're supporting the Chamber. They're helping to finance different things by having membership and investing in the Chamber. But every charity, nonprofit in the area, in the community, can be on Chamber for Good and have the full functionality of the site, regardless of whether or not they are a member of the Chamber of Commerce. And that's something that your Chamber of Commerce is doing for your community. Charity events, this becomes a central location for all events having to do with any philanthropic activities and events. You have a central source now, and these events can be posted by any charity that has been approved and has a presence on the Chamber for Good site. So you can directly put that right on there. That allows residents a single source, a single location to go to see what sort of charity nonprofit, philanthropic types of events are coming up. It also allows your newspapers and other media partners to see that. Flash cause is a great tool that the Chamber has to be able to immediately make the entire community aware of a time-sensitive issue that needs immediate community rallying support. Usually these are tragedies, so it's something that affected an individual or an organization. It could be natural disaster types of things. There's a lot of different things that could happen here, but this becomes kind of the town crier and emergency response system specifically for philanthropic related things. And we'll get into how that's distributed in a moment. When there isn't a flash cause, that just goes to a placeholder with the Chamber's logo, letting the community know that they're excited to support the local causes and charities. The media partners, this is how we reciprocate and try to give some visibility to those great newspapers and blogs and radio stations, TV stations that support the Give Local movement. And what we ask from them is that on a regular basis they are promoting Give Local, build our community, and sending people to the Give Local Chamber for Good website. And for that, they receive some visibility there that we really, to show our appreciation for them. And then you have sponsorship areas, and this is how various local corporations and organizations within the community can help support the cause as well and cover some of the costs that can sometimes be associated with marketing and managing. Down below, this is engagement tool number 3, and we'll talk more about this in a moment. But this is where every member of the community should be putting their email address in so that they receive this Monday email notifying them of all the current existing local needs. Just think about the power of that for a minute in your community. Let's just say you have 5,000 email addresses only, which is a very easy thing to do considering the fact that there's no conflict. People aren't buying anything. You're simply asking if they're willing to be made aware of local needs. Very few people will say no to that. They put their email address in, and every Monday an automated email goes out, and it takes all of the current needs that have been posted by local charities and sends them out to the community. We'll get into that in a second. So, engagement tool number 1 is the browse needs element. And again, you see the trailheads there. In this instance, what we've done is we've gone ahead and we've clicked on browse item needs or view item needs. And so you see a map down here. This just shows all of the local charities that have existing item needs right now. And then it subsorts them by category. You can choose to view all in a list, or you can go into each category. In this instance, what we've done is we've clicked on education, and that's what's brought this page up, where you get additional detail. And this time it separates it by charity that's involved here. You can click on the blue link to go to their charity profile, or I can go ahead and click on the email icon here, and that will pull up a pre-populated email that allows me to communicate with them and let them know of my desire to either learn more about that need or to be able to satisfy the need. Engagement tool number 2. What we've done here is we've gone in and chosen to either click offer volunteer time or offer items and give some example. And then additional, what I can do is go down and I put my information and then what it is that I'm offering. Perhaps I'm going to say, 2 weeks from Saturday, I'd like to do some volunteer work from 9 to 12 a.m. I'm going to be bringing my two or three of my sons to come along with me, some children or my wife or whoever else, and go ahead and send that off. And I can give some specific detail of what I'm looking for. And then I can send that to all of the charities, or I can choose to subsort and just send it to those having to do with art and culture or education. And immediately that goes out to all of the charities that have subsorted themselves and categorized themselves within that category. So now we've made it very easy. So for example, if somebody wants to do volunteer work, comes on and doesn't see anything that really appeals to them, or it doesn't look like it's going to fit what they want to do, well, go make an offer. In other words, we really reduce the excuses that we all tend to make as to why we don't do more volunteer work, because it makes it so easy. So we really help close the gap between good intentions and action. Final engagement tool is the Monday email, as we mentioned before, and this is what that would look like as it comes out. You see the chamber there again. It's important that it has that local feel to it, Chamber for Good. And then what it does is it shows the 15 most recent volunteer and item needs that go out into the community. But there's also links there that allow them to come back with a click of a button. They're immediately taken to the full list of needs that exist within the community. The goal with this is simply to begin to sensitize the residents and the public as to the local needs that exist in their own backyards. And that's an important element because that gradually turns them into givers and they become far more engaged. But very few individuals would resist simply being made aware and notified. Charity profile page. This is kind of your home page within the system. It's fairly straightforward and intuitive. All of the information that you're seeing, from the map to the detail information here to your logo, and then who we are and our mission, all this information is completed when you initially add your charity or request to have your charity added. Now, if this charity also had a Twitter feed and a YouTube channel, those icons would show up here as well. And of course, the donate money link goes to whatever they'd like it to. Once you're approved, you then have the ability to post item needs and volunteer needs. And so if I wanted to, I could click on wish list and it would give me all the detail of the additional things. Then I go, okay, I'll go ahead and give them that, and I'll click on the email icon there. So this is one way that, again, you're able to engage the community. This is how your charity is actually added. You would come to the Chamber for Good homepage for your community, and at the top you will see the Add My Charity link. As you click on that, it pulls up this form and you'll see a shaded box, which is the eligibility statement. If you qualify according to that eligibility statement, then go ahead and complete the information. Here you can see you add the charity category, put your information in here, and there's some other information as well. And then you click Add My Charity. This is what populates all of this right here. So that work is already done. It's very quick and easy to get set up. And then you simply click Add My Charity and you wait for chamber approval, which is usually done fairly quickly. Once you are approved, you'll have your username and password that allow you to come into your own admin area. You can alter and change the information on your profile page anytime you want. You do it yourself. You can change your username and password. You can change your categories, every detail about this. The only thing you can't change is which Chamber of Commerce you're associated with. This just applies to one particular region and one particular Chamber of Commerce. On the right, you'll see the links, the menu here. So if you want to make a change on the logo element there, you can. If I want to add items needed, so I want to post item needs, if I want to post volunteer needs, if I want to post an event, this is where you can do it. Or I can just simply say I want to take a look at what I've currently got posted and delete some things or edit some things, whatever I need to do. It's all done right there, right in front of you, and it's quite easy to do. The key element to this is that the charities, number one, post the link, that they begin to get word out. And any group that they're talking to, constantly remind people to please take a moment, just go to the website and make sure they put their email address in. And as the community becomes more sensitive to the local needs, they'll become more engaged and more likely to give of their time, of their resources as well. So we're looking forward to having you all involved and excited to bring you a great deal of visibility and new relationships.